Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, as always, many things to say, to clarify, from Nico Williams to wingers, from Bynoe Gittens to Barcola, but also Here We Go is coming, Here We Go is done, and so let's jump into it together. And so guys, many movements on the market, many stories. We will have many stories coming also from Saudi Arabia in the next days. Today, before recording this video, just to confirm what I said earlier this week, keep an eye on Al Hilal because they are still in discussions with Theo Hernández. They have an agreement with Milan on 30 plus 5 million euros, agreement done club to club, but still working on the player side, trying to convince Theo Hernández to join the club. So Al Hilal will be very active this summer, and not only Al Hilal. So we'll be following the situation for sure in the next days. But today I want to start with a Here We Go, and this is Jarell Quansah joining Bayern Leverkusen from Liverpool, with these two clubs in excellent relationship, doing a lot of business together this summer. Jeremy Frimpong to Bayern Leverkusen to Liverpool, the first step of the summer transfer window for Arne Slot, an excellent addition. Then the second, Florian Wirtz from Bayern Leverkusen to Liverpool, one more top player. This is a world-class player and signing, an historical signing for Liverpool for a player like Florian Wirtz. This week Milos Kerkez will arrive from Bournemouth, but on the other way between Leverkusen and Liverpool we have to mention also Jarell Quansah, because today Liverpool and Bayern Leverkusen have agreed a deal for Quansah. The agreement is for £30 million plus 5 in add-ons, so this is the club-to-club agreement for the permanent transfer of the English defender, 5-year contract till June 2030. There will be also a buy-back clause into the contract of Jarell Quansah at Bayern Leverkusen. What it means? That Bayern Leverkusen accept the fact that Liverpool can have control on the player in the future. If in 2, 3, 4, 5 years Liverpool decide to return and bring the player back to Anfield, they can do it for a specific price with no need for negotiations. So that will be automatic. Of course, the price is an important price. At the moment it's still undisclosed, but for sure is an important price, but still a big opportunity for Liverpool to keep the player under their control for the future. So an important move, one more, by the Liverpool director Richard Hughes, who really wanted to keep control on the player. One more Here We Go is coming, and it's Pogba to Monaco, a story I told you 10 days ago, negotiations ongoing, a 2-year contract, Monaco advancing. Now the deal is almost done, still some details to clarify in the next days. Next week could be important to get the final green light, and then the Here We Go is expected for Paul Pogba to Monaco. As I mentioned, a 2-year contract. They are waiting to resolve these final details. Remember that Paul Pogba is a free agent, so he can decide whenever he wants, whatever he wants. Available to play professional football after the ban since March, so Pogba is ready. Now discussions underway with Monaco, almost done. Again, we wait for these details, and then Paul Pogba can be a Here We Go to Monaco. Then we have to mention a couple of stories also coming from Barcelona, because today the director of Barça, Deco, spoke to La Vanguardia, an important paper in Spain, and first of all confirms that Wojciech Szczesny will sign a new contract at the club. So, story confirmed from 2 weeks ago, Szczesny is signing a new deal at Barcelona, is staying at Barcelona, and so Juan Garcia, Szczesny, Iñaki Peña, who couldn't leave the club, and then Marc-André Ter Stegen, who has to decide what he wants to do, because for Barcelona he's no longer the starting goalkeeper. So we will follow the situation also of Marc-André Ter Stegen. Another news, the defender Deco confirms that Ronald Araujo stays this summer at Barcelona, and could be Christensen, the defender, to leave, because Deco said, okay, we will sell a defender this summer, but it's not going to be Araujo, and the indications are for Christensen. He can leave the club in case of good proposal. The player and the club are ready to part ways, and so let's follow the situation of Andreas Christensen this summer. But also coming from Deco mouth, important words on Nico Williams, because for the very first time in public, Barcelona, and in this case an important member of Barcelona like the director Deco, confirms that they are working on the Nico deal. He has announced that Nico said yes to Barcelona. Nico wants to go to Barcelona, so confirming what I told you, agreement done with Nico, but they still have to find a way financially. La Liga, financial fair play, Athletic Bilbao, and all the parties involved to make this deal work with the release clause. Because as of tonight, Sunday night, Athletic are still not giving the green light for Nico Williams to leave with different payment terms. They insist on release clause or nothing. So let's see what Barca will be able to do. On Nico, I told you guys, now today was in many media, also in other countries, but I keep repeating to you that the behavior of, the reaction of English clubs is the story is over. Nico will go to Barça. This is what they feel in England. In Germany, Bayern want to wait a bit more, at least some days, because they say if Barcelona close the deal for Nico, we will go for a different winger. Otherwise, we want to try till the end, because Bayern feel if the Nico deal can collapse, we want to try with an important proposal to the player, with a big contract, big salary, ready to offer more than Barcelona, who are offering 7-8 million euros. As of tonight, Sunday, the player wants to go to Barça, so the efforts from Bayern are useless at the moment, but Bayern's strategy is to wait and see what happens with Barça. If he goes to Barça, moving on different targets. Otherwise, still waiting for Nico. Let's see what happens, but again, the desire of Nico Williams, as of tonight, is to go to Barcelona and to wait for Barcelona. On Bayern, getting many questions on a player like Bradley Barcola, who is really appreciated by Bayern, especially by the director Max Eberl, but the understanding is that Paris Saint-Germain don't want Barcola to leave this summer. Paris Saint-Germain want to continue with Barcola. Paris Saint-Germain see Barcola as a really important player for their project. Paris Saint-Germain are also considering a new contract for Bradley Barcola as a possibility to discuss in the next weeks or months, and so for sure the Barcola topic for Bayern will be difficult. There are many names mentioned for the Bayern winger. I told you about Leao being discussed internally. Now there are many names being discussed for that position. I will be more clear as soon as there will be clear indication on what Bayern want to do. But again, let's follow the situation with Nico. I'm also getting many questions for Bynoe Gittens. But guys, let me clarify 2 things about Chelsea. So it's important to clarify this. Bynoe Gittens has an agreement with Chelsea on a 7-year contract, is all ready between Bynoe Gittens and Chelsea, now working club to club to try to reach an agreement with Borussia Dortmund. So Chelsea keep working on this deal, Chelsea keep advancing on this deal, and keep considering Bynoe Gittens as a priority target for them this summer. So Chelsea remain focused on that player and that position. Then on Chelsea, guys, also important to add to the story I was telling you a few days ago, on Maignan, I'm receiving many questions, but guys, it's important to clarify this. Since the Maignan deal collapsed with Milan before the start of the Club World Cup, so it was almost 2 weeks ago, Chelsea and Milan have not reactivated talks. Chelsea and the agents have not reactivated talks. So at the moment, the Maignan deal is completely off, is not advancing, is not progressing, is not being reactivated. Then, at the moment, the situation around Maignan is really quiet. Let's see what's going to happen with the player in the next weeks and months. Let's see what's going to happen also in terms of Milan decisions on the contract extension for the player. But at the moment, still nothing reactivated between Maignan and Chelsea. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories, Quansah to Bayer Leverkusen, but also Pogba and Monaco, your opinion on these stories, but also guys, Nico Williams, what do you expect to happen with this saga, and then Szczęsny, Christensen, but also Bradley Barcola, Bynoe Gittens, many movement, many stories, guys, I wait for your opinion here in comments. Remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon with Fabrizio.